Hello, in this Collavate video tutorial, I will be demonstrating how users can set up individual reviewer deadlines. The workflow deadline is useful for time-sensitive approval workflow tasks. For G Suite users, the deadline feature is enabled by the G Suite administrator in the admin console in the workflow settings. For deadlines, select On and Save Settings. For personal Gmail users, the deadline feature can be enabled in Profile Settings. Hover over your profile account in the right-hand corner and select Update My Profile. Click on the Settings tab and turn Deadline on. Click Save to apply changes, and the deadline feature will be available. There are two types of deadlines: a global deadline that sets the same due date for all reviewers and individual reviewer deadlines. Setting up different deadlines for individual reviewers will be demonstrated in this tutorial. In the Process menu, I will click Process to begin a workflow process and select a document from my Google Drive to process to reviewers. The workflow submitter setting up the workflow can choose to set different deadlines for each reviewer. This type of deadline can be used for a sequential approval process. To set up individual reviewer deadlines, reviewers must be entered first. I will be adding two reviewers, Demo 1 and Demo 2. To assign a deadline for a reviewer, under their workflow privileges where it says Deadline, click Not Set Up. A calendar will appear for a date selection to be set as the reviewer's workflow deadline. The date selected here will be January 12th and will be set to be due at 3 p.m. for reviewer 1. Next, I can select an auto action in case Demo 1 does not take action prior to the set deadline. The first option is to skip to next reviewer or approve entire process. Skip reviewer applies if there is another reviewer in line. Approve entire process applies if this reviewer is the last in the workflow and does not make a decision before their assigned deadline. In this case, choosing this option for this reviewer would skip to the next reviewer since Demo 2 is next in this workflow. The workflow decision then depends on Demo 2's decision. The skip feature allows the workflow to keep moving even if an individual missed their deadline. However, in the scenario where the reviewer was the last reviewer, choosing this option would enable the workflow to make the approval decision based on reviewers before and go ahead and skip Demo 1 and approve the entire workflow process. The second option is to skip to next reviewer, cancel entire process. If the first reviewer misses their deadline, the workflow will skip to the next reviewer in line. However, this option ensures that the last final reviewer in line must make a decision, otherwise the workflow is canceled. The third and also default option in this drop-down choice is to cancel entire process. If a single reviewer in the workflow misses their deadline, the entire workflow process is canceled. I'm going to select Skip to Next Reviewer, Cancel Entire Process. In case Demo 1 does not attend to this workflow, it will skip to Demo 2, and Demo 2's decision and deadline will determine what happens. A reminder will be set for Steve, who is Demo 1, to notify him of his pending workflow, and click Save to apply changes. Now to set a deadline specifically for Demo 2, I will click Not Set Up under the reviewer's email and workflow privileges. The setup format is exactly the same, except I can select a different date and time deadline. I will set one reminder for Demo 2. Since Demo 2 is the last reviewer in this workflow, I'm going to select Cancel Entire Process. If Demo 2 does not make a decision before the deadline, the workflow will be canceled. There is no reviewer to skip to after, and I am requiring at least an approval from Demo 2 for this workflow. Save to apply the deadline settings, and I can press Start Process to send out this workflow process to the reviewers. The reviewers will receive an email that a workflow has been submitted to them. A link to the workflow in Collavate and a link to the workflow in Google Docs is provided. The reviewer can also approve or reject directly from the email. Now on the reviewer side as Demo 2, it is seen that Demo 1 has missed their deadline that was set for 3 p.m. and has now skipped to the next reviewer. Demo 2 can make edits and suggestions to the document and can choose to approve or reject this workflow before the 11 a.m. deadline. As the reviewer, I will approve this doc to move this workflow towards finalization. Back on the submitter's end, the workflow shows that Demo 1 has missed their deadline, but Demo 2 has made an approval decision. Here, the submitter can choose to export as PDF. The PDF generated includes a cover page with the workflow information showing the reviewers, timestamps, and decisions made. Following the cover page is the workflow document. Thank you for watching how to set up a Collavate workflow deadline.